did you get to a point of leaving?
For me, it was too much. It was too much. But I will say this, and I keep saying that the reason that I left is there was physical abuse.
Okay.
And I always told him. It's something that I saw. Anyway, it's not something that I never saw, but I always told him. The day you will hit me, just like this, I will leave.
So you had communicated it way earlier. Even
Even
your good days.
Even in my good days, sometimes they will sit down and have conversations as men, and me in my head I'm like, sometimes these men just talk. Sometimes even when they are okay. Maybe that time when they have taken one for the road, and then I was like, I always told him, but I always want him, because I would say, I kept, and even right now to date, I tell women, there is no reason on earth that any man should ever hit you. It does not matter whether you are a big mouth, whether I had made it clear, and so it happened the first time.
Yeah. Okay.
It happened the first time. I had packed everything.
Yes.
Honestly, I had packed everything.
Yes.
He begged, and I was like, okay. And then even a friend of mine talked to us. Obviously, it's not. But I had packed everything. Even I had carried my daughter on my back because she was only 1 year and some months. I had carried my daughter on my back, and then my friend came, so he locked the door. He said, "You are not going anywhere." So I was like, then we talked, but I was so sure. Even my heart, deep down, I knew.
It's not gonna stop.
I can't do it. It has started. It's not going to stop. So I was like, at the first, you always calm down, and when a friend talks to you, and then exactly 2 months later, it was about to happen again. It never happened. No way. There is no way hitting me will make me. If I insulted you, it will not make that insult come back to my mouth, or even you cannot change who I am. So it will not happen. I remember I packed at 12 at night, and 4 in the morning
You left.
I was out of the house.
That was 5 years ago.
That was 5 years.
Don't touch that. Do not move. You need to sip on the yogurt. You need to sip. Have you tasted this yogurt? Have you called this amazing woman, the CEO of Nature Wild? You need to call her, because this yogurt is making these talks amazing. You're included in this conversation. Please talk to us. Janet, how did you live?
Well, for me, unlike hers, mine was not a physical, we didn't have any physical violence. For me, mainly what we had was, our foundation was not as great as I had thought it was.
Okay.
We had a bit of cracks here and there, and I'm the kind of person who, let's talk about it, we finish, we get another challenge, we finish. But for him, he was not good at talking. Mainly you'd find his putting issues under the rug. And now with all this build up, his needs, there are part of his needs that he's not communicating, that I'm not meeting. That part of my needs, and I don't even know. Part of my needs, because me I'm vocal, I tell him, then I end up being a nag. But now you see, he's not ready to talk about them. He was not good in sitting down and talking, nini nakusumbua, how can we resolve this? To a point where I had asked, let's go see a counselor. If we cannot sit down and talk together, let's have some neutral person who we can talk to. And for us, you see this, you started with, we are now living together at once. We didn't go through the premarital counseling that whenever the guys who do the church weddings, they have to go through. We didn't have that. Yeah, we just life has happened, we come together, we move forward from there. So for us now, with all these unmet needs and expectations, because he also had expectations of me that I was not meeting the same to him. So it became so much. And now for him, instead of talking to me, he used to go and talk to his friends.
Okay.
Yeah? And now when he talks to his friends, he does not use nice language.
So it was abusive.
It was abusive. To get to a point where it became now an emotional and verbal abuse. Unlike you, I prefer someone to beat me, to show me that they can actually kill me. Because for me, I will want to stay and take it and just, he will change. Okay. Yeah? But now with that, it's also draining me. It's also bringing a lot of bitterness in me. And as I said earlier, love and bitterness cannot live in the same house. You know, one has to give. Even me at some point, I will break. Yeah, I will break. I will not be able to hold on to that much. And also this familiarity. Yeah, he has money. He used to leave the county we were and come to Nairobi and rave with his friends and leave me with a small baby at home. That used to get to my nerves. Because I'm like, I have moved to this county with you for us to have this family together. Why are you leaving me?
So the emotional abuse, so the abuse became too much.
Too much for me.
And you packed and left.
And that's when I just decided, you know what? I am not going to do this anymore. Yeah. I was also becoming very, very, very bitter. If you cannot sit down together and just talk, you know, let me just up and just leave. Because there are needs of yours that I'm actually not meeting. Because I beat up myself. I was like, yeah, maybe it's me who has the problem. Maybe it's not even him. So I was like, let me make this easy for you. Let me just go and I just
Let me eliminate the problem.
Let me eliminate the problem.
Did you, on the living part, when you decided you want to walk away, what informed your decision on what to carry, or what did you carry anything other than your clothes?
Me? No, I never carried any. I only carried my clothes. Whatever I keep saying.
Yes.
You know, sometimes we women, we are very bitter. Very bitter. You don't even want to carry anything. But if I will rewind my years back, I would have packed a lorry.
Would you have packed him in it?
Who?
The guy.
I would have let him. I would have carried his clothes. I would have, because I keep saying, honestly, you know, I keep saying what?
Yes.
I
Why?
spent 2.5 years in that house, and then I went to start from scratch. But then it's just because I never had a job, Alice.
Yeah.
If I had a job, that house belongs to me.
Yes.
We are
But
told
it
the
also
woman
belongs to him.
It's okay, I don't
Yes,
care.
yes.
But by the end of the day, you telling me you doing something that will make me leave, I would have packed. Even you would have come where we are. I would have packed. If I would,
You
I
doesn't
carried
pack
only
his
my
clothes,
clothes and
yes.
my daughter.
Wow. Janet, what did you
I
pack?
carried everything.
What do you mean everything? His clothes?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't carry his clothes. I carried my daughter and everything that came with the house.
What? The TV, the seats, everything.
Everything.
Hey,
I just carried everything.
You carried everything.
Because
Yes.
I was not ready to start. I was not ready to start at life again from scratch. I did not have a job at that time. Remember?
But you see, you didn't contribute to this. If you were in a different county, correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong, you went into a different county.
Yes.
He bought everything because he didn't have money. Why were you carrying his things?
He said it.
Oh, okay.
You see, the same I was saying, we
Yes.
were not talking.
Yes.
Like, whenever you have issues, he was not telling me what issues we had. I walked into him talking to his friend.
Yes.
How I'm going to come to this house and find the house empty.
Yes.
Or I find he has packed my bags and my baby's bags because he knew that my parents' house, because there was no one living there, my mom passed on.
Yes.
We have a house, so we have a place to go to.
So you
I
took
can
that
go.
cue.
So me was like,
You took
"Hey."
that as the cue
And then
to
again
carry
he said,
everything.
we
Yes.
have a house in a different county and we also have things in this county, in here in Nairobi.
In Nairobi, yes.
So I was like, he was like, no, am I going to take all these things?
Yes.
If she wants, she can even take them and just go with them.
And you took that hint.
Me, that is what I had. I did not hear of the other one.
Oh
So
my
I
goodness.
just
So you took the hint and carried everything.
everything.
Just
plus
walk
the
with
baby.
me. Of course you didn't tell him you're leaving.
I didn't tell him.
So you wake up and packed everything, called the lorry, packed everything inside. So he came back to an
No,
empty
you
house.
need to understand that I was walking into him, talking. You know how friends
Yes.
chocha.
Yes.
Actually, this woman, I'm going to show her. Yeah. So me, I overheard that conversation, and he was like, me as Janet,
Yes.
I'm not going to get this thing by surprise.
Yes.
I'm not going to wait for him. I'm not going to come to an empty house. It is me who's going to do the action. So everything he had planned for me, I think I made it like God made me to come at the right time so
And
that I
hear
can
it.
act and hear it and actually do it what he had planned for me. So I didn't wait. So I just took it all, moved. He had mentioned with his friend, he was like, I was just there listening. I didn't even walk in immediately. I was just listening. I was like, I'm going to give the landlord notice.
Yes.
Yeah, so that she decides if the lease will be in her house, in her name, or we just discuss on the logistics. So this is something he had
thought about.
pre-planned and thought about.
Did you ask him about it?
I did not ask him about it.
So
Because
you
I was like, if you can sit down and
have
you know,
this
if it's a
conversation.
thought, it remains in your mind. But if you're sitting and having this conversation with your boys, then it's something that you've already decided
In
on.
that conversation, did he mention what you shouldn't carry? Because it seemed like
Yes.
you can carry
He
everything.
actually mentioned I should not carry the TV,
Okay.
but that is what I started with.
Why?
I moved that TV the first day, and then the following day the lorry now came in to carry everything.
Why would you move the one thing he really interested in?
Well,
Yes.
all these things is vanity. If you do not see the
Value.
value of a family in what
Yes.
us
Yes.
we have,
Yes.
then why do you have to have the need of these other things?
Oh wow!
You know?
I love the way this conversation is going because it's getting very real. You would say
I
5
would
years
even
ago
say, yeah.
you would carry everything.
But
and
I will
his
even
clothes.
say, I will even say, you're asking why would I carry something I do not come with?
Yes.
The only reason I never carried, I never packed those things in the house. It's because I hated the fact that he used to make me feel like I just came into that house just as I am.
Yes. Yes.
But SAISA will tell you for a fact, I was not sleeping for 23 years waiting for you to marry me.
Okay.
I went to school.
Yes.
I have been raised by a good father.
Yes.
I went to university.
Yes.
So I used to tell myself, I am not a cabbage.
Yes.
That I'm just sitting there, I'm sleeping. You know, I'm eating in your house.
Yes.
I'm not eating in your house because at the end of the day, you do not feed me.
Yes.
You found me as a whole human being.
Yes.
Ukweli wa mambo ni hujanilea.
Yes. Analea mtoto wake.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So whatever
So
you do,
you would have carried the things for the sake of the child.
yes,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, the reason
It's his child.
it is his child, and I am in this house, and your work as a man is provision.
Yeah.
Let me add on to
Yes.
even for me,
Mm.
when we were moving in together, he had his things, I had my things.
Yes.
But he made me sell my things.
Yes.
So that
Did
we
you
can
eat the whole
use.
money that you sold your things with?
No.
Okay.
That was the money that I was putting on the table, like so to know. And in fact, I bought him a watch with a sofa. It was 10,000. I bought him that watch with that sofa money.
Aha.
So you see, he was also Ali Ingia Hapo, you know.
Yes.
So now when he starts that point of it was his money, we were in it together. I sold my things.
So you are saying at some point your finances were married, then they got to a point they were not married.
And you see, we also had an agreement. So I also have a right in everything in the house because I told you. If I never told you,
Then
I
it
told
would
you,
have been different.
I don't want to get pregnant before I get a job. Because at the end of the day, I have seen this. I have seen my mom wasn't my real mom wasn't a housewife. She was never a housewife. She used to work in a circle. But my stepmom, for a while she stayed in the house. So I used to see this, this commotion of
difference,
not.
yeah.
So if there is something I always told myself, I will never be a housewife. But you see, we had an agreement.
Whenever we are the housewives, yeah, he's out there, he's earning money, so he's coming back to you, and he feels there's nothing you're bringing to the table, and he has friends. He goes, you're just there with your baby. I would say familiarity breeds contempt. Yeah.
Okay.
It's a killer of destiny.
Yeah.
He'll come. You already get into familiar with each other, and that does not add into a marriage. It actually kills it because in as much as we are told that if you're not ready to forgive, then you're not ready for marriage, because marriage requires a lot of forgiveness.
Yeah.
But then again, you don't get again familiar with each other. You come today at 6 a.m. Tomorrow you come at 8 a.m. after
Yeah.
going out. I keep forgiving you and forgiving you.
And then you
Now-
don't come for 3 days.
And then you don't come for 3 days. Now that breeds contempt. It's a killer of destiny. And then he's having fun. He does not see why you're bringing issues. But even for you, there are needs of yours that they're not being met. The time you're supposed to having your intimacy sessions, he's somewhere out there at the prime of intimacy and all those things. You are out there drinking, roaming with other
Enjoying
women.
life. Yeah. Talk to me about when you leave. What happened after you left? Just briefly. How did that mellow for you after you left? You left with nothing, actually. You said you left with just your clothes and your daughter and her clothes.
Yeah, so I went back to my dad's place, and I tell people right now, I advise girls, I even tell women, people, separation is worse than death.
Okay.
It is worse than death. It's better someone, we just know we have buried you.
Yeah.
You're no longer there.
Yes.
Because separation, it toils on you. Yeah,
Yes.
it makes you. Sometimes I remember my 2015. My 2015 was my fire year. I was burnt like fire furnace. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego put together as times 10. We were. It was my fire year. You know those days you cry. You cry, and then in your head, you see, even after I left, I told myself, I have seen my mom leave so many times
And come back.
and come back. So in my head, I'm telling myself, he will come for us. Shock and alas.
He did.
Shock and alas. Pigwa na butwa.
Ulipigwa na butwa. It's been 5 years.
Yes.
Hajawahi kuja.
Never.
Did you pick up, I want to come back when how you picked up the conversation and how you picked up yourself and even co-parenting, because I know that's one thing we need to talk about. After you left, how did you navigate this?
Hey, I went downhill completely.
Okay.
I was very much depressed. I remember I was hospitalized for depression for about 2 months.
Did you seek help?
Yes, I was
Okay.
in a nice place somewhere in Mugagari Drive. And because in my head, I was so much into this, I was like, it's no way it's going to fail. I did not enjoy growing up not having a father figure in my life.
Yes.
Yeah. And I did not want that for my child.
Okay.
Because for me,
You wanted that to end.
to end, and I wanted my child to have that relationship. And actually, she actually does have a relationship with her dad. They're
Okay.
very good friends.
Okay.
And I told myself, if he decides never to support financially, which, okay, for me, I had that conversation twice, but what was more important to me was they have a relationship.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what you were fighting
That
for.
is what I was
So
fighting
even when you
for.
were more depressed, it's because you thought that your daughter would turn up like you,
Like me,
without a father,
a
figure.
father figure,
And that's what you were
I
battling
didn't
at the
want.
time.
Yes. And I
Okay.
didn't want her to feel like she's paying for mistakes that she didn't have anything to do with.
Okay.
She just found
You wanted her to be
herself.
separate from
Yes,
this
she just found
conversation.
herself in that
this
issue.
turn in
Yes,
between.
yes.
Tell me, how did you pick up yourself? You see, you didn't have a job. How did you pick up yourself financially? And how was co-parenting then? You have left, you've gone to your dad's, you have no money, now it's you look for a job, and then you're waiting for this man to come, he's not coming, and now you have to co-parent with him. How did that go?
Honestly, for me, there's never been a co-parenting.
Alright. Okay.
Never been a co-parenting. I'm grateful to God for this skill that I have,
Yes.
because I started, like, I have done this for the longest time. I have done this since I was in campus. This is what used to give me money in campus. I need to drink Blue Moon. Then
I wanted to drink Blue Moon.
yes, then. So even when I left, I already started to make yogurt.
Okay.
I started making yogurt when I was
Still with him.
with him. As in that year 2015, that's when I started making. Now, like, I started making yogurt again. As in, at least just have money. So that is what I was doing. But for me, like, my picking, like,
How did you pick up?
March, April, May, June, May. 3 months later, I went through an ordeal that would have led
Okay.
to death. You should have me in your channel again so that I can have
We shall revisit
that story.
Yes, we shall
Because
revisit.
it's another story. We will start and we cannot finish.
Okay.
But how I picked up, mine was 100% God.
Okay.
I had a personal encounter with
With
God.
Yes.
I tell people I had a 360 turnaround.
Yes. Yes.
Like, it was a visitation. For me, if God did not come at that time,
You'd have lost.
I will not have been alive.
You would be
You
dead.
guys would have buried me in 2015.
Oh.
That is how I picked up. And my journey with God, I tell people, I can give credit to other people, because right now we can sit here as friends. We talk. You know, even that time you talk to someone, you call someone, you're like, hello, I left my home. Oh, they tell you it's okay. And then when you come back, you are alone. These emotions
Overwhelm you.
drown you. Even though they drown you, you feel like you want, and then you're hearing what this other, as in what your so-called husband is doing. He's having fun, he's having ladies, and because you will always have hearsay. So you're hearing what he's doing, and you're there, you're thinking, mi sina kazi,
Sina pesa.
hapa sina pesa,
Niko na mtoto.
niko na mtoto
Na ni wake.
taiba na ni wake.
So you
And
did
then,
compare
and
it.
then you see in my head, I'm telling myself, he will come for us. Like,
He's gonna come.
he will
He's
come
gonna-
for us.
he's gonna
And then he
come.
tells me point blank,
I'm not
"Si ni wewe
coming.
ulitoka,
I'm not coming.
sitawahi kukujia."
My
Yeah.
goodness. And it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Janet, how did you pick yourself up after the depression and after going through the healing process and going through counseling? How did you pick yourself up?
Actually, the depression came in when now, for me and him, at some point he wanted to see the child, and then when we planned, he cancels. And now for me, that became something totally different. I was like, you can't just show up and then disappear again. You're playing with this child's emotions, and I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
So I just told him, let's sit down, let's come up with a co-parenting structure so that you know you'll be taking on these weekends, this is what I'll be doing, this is what but he was not in for it. So what I just decided, because I was led by anger and I was like, you know what, it is either you're in this child's life or you're completely out of it. Personally, I am not a believer of, and my mom was an advocate for the same. It's either you're in it or you're completely out of it. There's no 50-50 you uko ama hauko. You have to decide where you are, and this is a child. So what did I do? I took him to court. I took him to court so that we can have a structure of how we will parent. And so that for him, to him, now that one became, how can you take me to court?
So you brought a whole
doctor like me. Now that opened another side of him that I actually never thought I knew. And now it became a battle, and that's where my depression actually became worse. Because when you go to court, you have to be prepared. Not even financially. Okay, financial is one of it, but also emotionally. Because here you have a child that you're fighting for the rights of this child, and you want him to also play his role right, but because he's acting a fool and he does not want to play this part right, he has to be reminded. It takes a toll on you. So what did I do? We moved on. He agreed we do a settlement.
Yes.
We did a settlement. And now here we are. We are
so has that going to court, has that made co-parenting easier or harder?
For me, it has made it easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wanjiko, are you open to a possibility of co-parenting, or you're just
I tried everything.
Okay.
Because, you know, I would say, you see, for 1.5 years, my daughter knows her dad. She'll even wake up if there's something that used to, you know, as a woman, you know, we are emotional beings. So there's something that my daughter used to do. One thing my daughter had never jabbed. Ever.
Okay.
So we used to enter.
For our international audience, jabbing is taking a public means. Public matatu. What is matatu in English? We shall find out. Yes.
She used to see a personal car, and she cries, like she's like, Daddy, ameniwacha, Daddy, ameni. She used to wake up at night and says, Ninataka Daddy. Where the hell am I supposed to get that from?
Yeah.
So I did everything. Honestly, for me, I would say I did everything. I even told him, come get her. Like, to some point, I don't need your money. I don't need you to give me your money, because she knows him. She loves him. So, as in, we have never been able to co-parent. I think, as I said before, the finances, the fact
But
that
you see,
finances
co-parenting doesn't necessarily mean finances.
I know, but I think for a man, you know, these are the things that you even right now you get to learn. You get, because the last 5 years of my life, I have learned the word of God. I have learned all those things. Provision for a man, if you have a family, whether you have a kid or what, that is what builds their ego. When a man doesn't have finance, they will lie to you that they are okay, but they are not okay, because that is their nature. It is just who they are. So even, and that's why I'm saying I tried everything. I told him, just come get your kid. You know, come get your kid. Come visit her, pick her, take her. You know, there are those days where I was mad. Obviously. In that process, you have to sometimes you insult them, you talk to them ill, but I kept telling him, there is no single day.
Yes.
There is no single day. I keep telling, even right now I tell men over and over again, even a woman, there is never justification of not taking care of your kid, or even not seeing your kid, because at the end of the day, this kid did not choose to come into this world.
Yes.
And if I am a whole human being, I am an adult. Even if I text you, where does the kid come? Where does the kid come in? I'm not telling you to give me finance. I'm just telling you, you know, she'll tell me, Daddy, they ask questions. Mbona Daddy hakuji, mbona afanye nini? So with time, I took her, like, I pick her, I take her to the dad's place, I leave her there. And then sometimes, you know, he brings her back to my place. But it reached a point where I had to protect my child. Because, you know, at the end of the day, to him, he has already moved on. He has not moved on. They lie to themselves, they are more, but they have not. They just try to cover up the pain. So this year you're with this person, the next year with this person, and my daughter is growing up. And if there's something that I have on my daughter, she's smart,
so she can see it.
So it reached a point I also said, until you get to, like, if you want to see her, it's okay, but this exchanging of people, and it will affect.
It shouldn't be on her face.
It shouldn't be on her face. So for me, I wouldn't say
You're
we haven't.
compared. We are not mitigated that part.
We
I want
haven't.
us to do last 2 questions. How was society when you left? What role did the society play, and what role did the church play when you left?
For me, I am very grateful for my family
Mhm.
because they stood out for me. They stood up for me,
Mhm.
and they've upheld me through all these seasons. I really didn't care much about society because I saw my mom go through the same thing.
Okay.
So I knew when I'm leaving this man, I knew what I'm going to experience. And also, society judges the woman harshly more than the man,
Yes.
even if it's the manual issues or whichever the case.
Mm.
And it has helped me. My family has actually made the biggest people who have played a very big role is my family. Yeah. Church. I haven't been to church often
Okay.
because
Have you found
I
one
was
though?
still in that phase of, you see, I moved from this to Catholic,
Catholic, yeah.
and I was so much into it. Now here I'm with a child who is now Catholic. She was baptized in Catholic. Now I'm here trying to make a decision for her of like, okay, the route that I take of church, no more movie, because it causes
So you have to make
instability.
that decision not just for you,
Not
but
just
even
for
for
me,
the child.
but even for the child.
Okay.
So where church comes into play, I am still trying to figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, whether I'll go back to my old church or whether I'll stick to Catholic for the
Catholic.
sake of my daughter.
Okay. All right. Wanjiko, what role did the society play or the church after you left?
I think after I will give more credit first to my family,
Okay.
my immediate family, like mostly my dad and my sister. I will give credit to that. But the rest, the society, me, I will say, SAISA, God covered me.
Okay. Wow.
God covered me. I never got any. You know, the Bible says when you get born again, the old
The old has gone and the new has come.
I am a real
New person.
definition of that.
Okay.
Like nothing. Like as in about what people used to say,
Nothing.
It doesn't bother
Okay.
me.
it doesn't bother me at all.
Okay. Let's talk about emotional maturity. Do you feel like you were mature then, or now you're mature,
What I would
or did
say,
maturity play a role in how you went in, how you left, and what you've done after that?
What I feel right now is that I feel more mature now than I was then. Because when I was getting into that marriage, number one, I thought I was ready, but I actually wasn't ready.
Okay.
There's no manual for marriage. You just walk into it and it just flows. What flows, it just flows, but you have to make it work.
Yes. And marriage is what?
And marriage itself is work.
Yeah.
How I handled some things, given a chance now, I would probably not have handled them the same during that time. So for now, for me, right now I feel more emotionally mature. I have learned from my own personal mistakes, from the experience that I have gone through, and for the space that I am currently in, and I feel I'm now able to make informed decisions going forward. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
What about you?
I will say that I have really grown. Really grown. I have learned to forgive. I know, you know, when it reaches a point you can talk about something and not cry.
Yes, true.
And sometimes when you even sit down and remember, you're like, oh
true.
God.
Yeah.
The only reason I look the way I am is because Jesus has been on my boat. I was not emotionally, I was not mature in any way. I was childish from the head, you know.
Yeah, in every single way, even in your thoughts.
Even in my thoughts. Right now,
you are mature.
I will do things differently. And I will do things differently because I have to get married. I'm not growing old alone.
Yes.
I tell people, sister, marriage is a unit that was formed by God.
Yes.
And anything that does not look good is not God. But marriage is of God. So we are here.
So
Yeah.
now, what are you hoping? So now you're single. Are you hoping to date?
Yes, I'm hoping to. Yes, I don't mind. I am open.
You're open to dating. You're not
Nobody-
o-
Nobody hates to be called babe. Hey. The only person who calls me mama is my daughter. I don't mind being called hey mom.
And Janet, where are you at now? What are you?
Right
are you
now,
hoping to?
I am oriented.
Yes.
I have always dreamt of marriage, and I believe that I'll get married.
Yeah.
and have more children.
Okay.
I was an only child.
Yes, so you
because
want to have more
now I
children.
want more children.
Mm.
And for a parting shot,
Mm.
what I would tell the audience,
Mm.
you may have been a good woman,
Mm.
but to a wrong man.
Yeah.
He may have been a very good man,
But to
but to a wrong woman.
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two,
Mm.
the timing may have been right.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
But God had not ordained it to happen that way for you to live together.
Mm.
Or the timing may have been very wrong.
Mm.
Very wrong, the foundation bad, everything cracks everywhere, you
Mm.
harakishad,
Mm.
but God had planned
Mm.
that you be together.
Mm.
So I would encourage, lay everything to God. Personally for me, I have left it at the court of heaven. Because physically, this fighting, the way you keep fighting, it's not going to work.
Mm.
So leave it at the court of heaven and let God decide. If He wills for you to be together, He will make it happen. If He wills that, yeah, this happened, you have a child together, now there's someone else for you, you're going to have a blended family, let His will be done.
Mm. Your parting shot, Wanjiku?
My parting, I will never regret anything in my life
Mm.
because everything that have happened to me, the good and the bad,
Mm.
it has made me this woman I am
That
today.
you are
This
today.
emotional stable person, this emotional strong person, and I
Mature.
can mature. I can talk to other people,
Mm.
and I keep saying, thanks to this person that I got married to, he helped me know how to pray
Mm.
because I have prayed on my knees.
Mm.
I do not even know. You know, at least you're saying you went into Catholic.
Yeah.
I'm born and raised Catholic.
Mm.
So me, I did not know what it means to pray in the Holy Spirit. I have no idea. But the last 5 years,
Mm.
eh?
Yeah.
Have you ever like you're telling God you're fighting for your family on your
The
knees?
knees, yes.
I have fought the fight,
Yes.
and I will not give up because at the end of the day, it's God will always make everything work. He will
In his
make
own
it
time.
work.
In his own time.
And one last one, especially on co-parenting, because now in that phase of co-parenting, it doesn't matter whether you go to court or you don't want to go to court. Whether he provides or he does not provide,
He's still a parent.
he is still a parent.
Yes.
He is still the father of your child. You are in this together. Even if you're separated, he is still your parenting partner.
Mm.
If he wants to come see this child for two times, let him.
Yes.
If he does not want to be part of the birthdays, it's you who's doing everything, let him.
Yeah.
And don't talk bad about him
To
to
the
the
child.
child.
Okay.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
God is seeing everything that you're doing. Keep everything moving as a mother.
Mm.
When he wills, he will make things flow.
Yes, I want to ask a final question. Do you think there's a possibility of getting back together?
Well,
For me, I will say this for a fact.
Yes.
For me, if God will give me that chance, if God will try, there is nothing that God cannot do.
transform. Yes.
I would want my family back.
Wow, that's great. Yeah.
as for me,
Mm-hmm.
I'm very open-minded. I have left everything at the courts of heaven. Let him do his will.
His will.
Yes.
Amen. This is SAISA MUNGA. And thank you, Wanjiko. Thank you. And Wanjiko has a YouTube channel, by the way. Check her out. She's called Wanjiko Karaoke. Of course, I follow her. Actually, no, I'm a subscriber. Yes. And so, please, thank you, Wanjiko. Thank you, Janet. Thank you for opening up your lives. And thank you so much for choosing to be here. This conversation would not have been what it is without you guys.
Thank you for having
so
us.
much.
I know. Spend your money. No get. Baba Asante, 'cause you are not good.